I do believe it may be out of print. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's coming back in print, but I'm sure you could find it online somewhere if you were so inclined. Now, Virgo, very relationship focused month. And like Capricorn, I'm not seeing anything about money on the table. So I always want to tell my earth signs that up front. No news is good news, okay? Not every month is financially focused. Not every month is love focused. It's just not going to come up as a focus every month. So, but yeah, like I said, no news is good news. It means you're not worried about that. You're looking elsewhere. So that means there's no need to look there. So just gonna I always have to say that. Otherwise there'll be comments, you didn't talk about money. Yeah, it's not a focus this month. You're more focused on other things. Particularly, moving beyond a disruptive situation. You're letting go of a relationship, a disruptive association, a disruptive situation or relationship. The High Priestess is coming up here as part of your focus. So it could be your intuition is telling you at the beginning of October, you've got to leave this situation. You've known it for quite some time, because the High Priestess talks about intuition. She's very spiritual. She's very in tune with her emotions and the emotions of others around her. She can be a spiritual mentor or teacher. This may be somebody that you go to, Virgo, if it's not you. If it's not, you coming to grips with the situation through your own spiritual development, it could be someone else that you see as a mentor, or maybe you've been taking a class with someone who is spiritually minded, or who is a leader in the spiritual community, and you seek this person's advice. And, that's the advice that you get, is that you need to leave this relationship behind. You need to leave this situation behind because it's too disruptive. It's too out of control, because you have hail here. Hail is all about, all of those forces outside our control that cause us to, have to affect great change. It causes great changes in our lives, and, but we're only really able to react. So this is sometimes a force that is coming from another person, an influence, an energy coming from another person. Maybe someone else is ending a relationship with you, and you're the one you're just like, well, how do I respond to this? And you go to this person and you say, well, you don't want to try to stay in something where someone's telling you they don't want to be in it. Or if someone's sending you signals, sometimes they're there for you, sometimes they're not. Somebody blowing hot and cold. That's kind of the worst, because then it kind of keeps you forever stuck in this limbo. And, thinking maybe you're moving forward when really you're just staying stuck. And maybe I'm the High Priestess for some of you. That tends to be my significator, that or the Queen of Cups. So, maybe this is just the message. I feel for some of you, this is just what you needed to hear. Like I said, if you need more information, absolutely, we can book a private reading. Just drop me a line and we'll set that up and take a look at your situation specifically and see what we can find out. But some of you, this may be a work situation that has just been, it's too stressful because there's always just extreme levels of unreliability, or just you never know what's coming. Every day is different. And for a Virgo, that would be kind of a nightmare. Really, because you're an earth sign. You like stability. You like knowing what to expect. You like routine. You like organization. You don't like chaos. And whatever this situation is, whether it's a work situation, whether it's a relationship, that's what you seem to be surrounded by is chaos. But there are new beginnings coming in, and some of you are going to be leaving a relationship for someone else. Who is a far more positive influence. And maybe some of you are married, but it's been a difficult relationship, and you've met someone that you really want to partner with. And so you have to leave this relationship to move forward, because you have the Eight of Cups and the Six of Swords, both cards that indicate moving out of troubled waters or leaving an emotionally difficult situation behind for one that is far more nourishing, far more emotionally satisfying to you. So yeah, Virgo, just looking at this, the overall message is don't stay in a situation that is causing you to feel unstable or nervous. Maybe you have anxiety. I just feel anxiety for a lot of you caused by this person or situation. Now, who is coming up is the King of Swords here as the person that I think is at the crux of this. So the King of Swords is generally associated with the air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. It doesn't have to be, though. It could just be somebody exhibiting those traits. Also does not have to be male. This could be anybody in these general readings. But this is somebody who's been dishonest. Their dealings have been with you, they've lied to you. Maybe you've caught them in a lie. They've deceived you in some way. This guy can talk you into anything. This is the guy that's like the used car salesman. Okay, like he could sell ice to Eskimos. I mean, he is seriously that kind of person. So it doesn't surprise me that, he's a tough one to see through because he's very good and he probably has a lot of charisma, he or she, however it's manifesting for you. But and for some of you, this guy may have he may have stolen something from you, because there is like Fehu here is coming up in the reverse, which can indicate a financial loss, theft, someone taking something that belongs to you. Now, if this is the guy that you need to leave behind and you were married to him or involved with him and you feel like someone has taken him away from you, let him go. Because trust me, this is not a keeper. Let him go be someone else's problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't need this in your life. Because if he stays, it's going to be constant waves, tsunami. And we're not just talking waves. We're talking tsunamis with this person, just causing ripple effects all the time. It's never peaceful. It's never quiet. And you can't handle it anymore. With the Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups here, you've got to get out of this. Some of you may be consulting a lawyer, taking legal action. So this could be indicating a divorce settlement or moving forward in a very, legal way. Now, some of you may be signing any kind of contract because you do have the rune of Gifu here, the rune of partnership, with legalities. So I do feel like some of you, if you have moved out of a relationship, some of you may very well be getting married in October or making plans to do that. There's something about making it legal with a partnership. If this is a job that you're leaving, you will be signing on to a new position in October. And, you are going to leave this behind in the physical sense. So whatever's holding you back, there's something new waiting on you. And for a lot of you, this is a new relationship, a new beginning with someone that makes you feel very positive, makes you feel like you have overcome these difficulties. So I do feel like there's a new person on the scene for a lot of you that you really feel like this is the person I'm supposed to be with, no matter really who's around right now, or who you've been with. There's someone new on the scene in October, or a new job or opportunity. And for some of you, you may be partnering up to start your own business with someone and leaving behind an old business partner, leaving behind an old boss is kind of what I'm feeling here, for sure. Now, the help that's going to be available to you is that if there is someone who has not been honest with you, we've got the Three of Swords here. If there is someone who has not been honest with you or has been trying to deceive you, you're going to find out about it in enough time to use it to your advantage. We also have Pedro here with the card which is the rune of the hidden or secrets. Those of you who Virgo, if it's you that's kind of like you haven't maybe told your partner yet about this new person, I feel like you are going to be able to keep that hidden until you're ready. But I do feel like most of you will be revealing this in October. But for a lot of you, I feel like you have been deceived, and I think you already knew it. You already had an inkling with the High Priestess here. Because remember, we started off this reading with intuition and just feeling like something's off or you're not getting the full story here. And it's going to come out. Anything hidden from you, any deceptions, any betrayals will come out in October, but it is going to be a help to you in some way. Maybe someone else's deception and betrayal comes out, and this is a help to you in some way. Maybe it's this boss, and he gets fired or let go or something because he's been stealing from the company. I think that's how it's going to work out for some of you. But it's like a negative influence is going to be removed. And then it's like, a fresh start. We can finally move past this. We can finally move away from this. Or I can finally move on. It's been a testing time. You have a need here. So you've had to be very patient. You've been going through a life lesson, Virgo, which really we're always in the middle of a life lesson. But it seems like things may be coming to a head with one particular situation. And this is not going to be, not necessarily going to be going on all month. So, it's kind of like the most important thing that happens in the month. So it's not like you're not going to have a positive month. It seems like there is something, though, you need to move on from. You definitely need to leave behind something. You have done everything you're supposed to do with this person or in this situation. So I do believe that after Mercury turns direct, which is October 9th, this information is going to come to light. Whatever information is missing, whatever puzzle pieces you need to move out of this situation, move forward, will come to light. But then you have to do the moving, Virgo. Unless it's a case where somebody's getting fired, then you just sit back and kind of see. But if you know what I'm talking about and you know it's time to leave a situation, don't stay in it past October here, Virgo. Definitely start taking steps, because I think once you start taking steps, you're going to replace whatever this is with someone so much better or something so much better. You're not gonna be able to believe that you stayed in this situation for so long. So, wow, it's really interesting because it's like it's completely split in half with leaving the situation, but then the positive new beginnings and new growth. Emotionally and mentally. I feel like your emotions and, that you may have had a lot of insomnia. You may have had a lot of anxiety about the situation. You're going to be surprised how quickly that dissipates once you get out of this and put it behind you and disassociate yourself from this person or situation. You got to cut that tie. And if you need a reason, it will come out in October. If you are like, well, if I had another person, I don't want to just leave and be alone. Virgo, sometimes our best growth is done on our own. I think everybody needs time on their own, not in a relationship, because until you can love yourself and be alone with yourself and look at yourself in the mirror, you're really not ready for a relationship. Not a good one anyway. So, if this has been a repeated process, maybe you should think about that, Virgo. With great risk comes great reward. And if you face your fear, and if one of your fears is, leaving a relationship and being on your own, if you face that, I think you're going to find that you're going to bring in the right partner a lot more quickly than if you just do a rebound kind of thing and settle for whoever's around. But I do think that there's someone there for really most of you pretty quickly. Or maybe already. Maybe he's been around for a little while. Maybe you've been committed to this other person and you couldn't take steps in that direction. October seems to be the turning point, Virgo. So definitely not a quiet month. There's a lot of good, though. It's just a matter of stepping into your power by literally stepping out of a situation. So, you know, and it's not, you're not going to feel absolutely like sure about what you've done immediately, but it is going to feel a lot brighter immediately. You're just going to feel like, oh, I can rest. Or maybe I can actually go to sleep tonight for the first time in I don't know how long, because I'm not up worrying about, you know, I finally took the step, it's done, and now I can at least get a good night's rest here. But this is a transition, and transitions take time. I mean, you know, it's always a gradual shift rather than overnight, but that's how you build stability. And I mentioned this in another reading. I'm not sure whose it was. Maybe it was Leo. But yeah, you always want to build things slowly because that means they're more stable. Overnight success tends to go just as quickly, or overnight changes tend to dissipate just as quickly as they came in. So slow and steady wins the race. Absolutely. There's a lot happening in October, but it's moving you in the right direction, and a lot of shifts, a lot of changes, but they're good changes. You're moving towards the people who will better serve you, and toward the jobs, toward the situations that are going to be more conducive to your happiness, to your joy. Because I feel like you've been seeking that for quite some time, but it just hasn't been coming in. Because someone has been blocking it, Virgo. Don't help this person by keeping them around. It's time to leave that situation. Leave liars behind for sure in October.